So welcome guys, welcome to the Pilot Tennis channel. Hope you're doing well. In this series of videos, I will show you how to set up and prepare your flight in the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. In this series, actually, we will go through each topic from the cockpit preparation, use the software I use to do my flights, and also all the procedures related to the flight sim. Just a quick note, I'm not a real pilot, I'm doing so it might not be an accurate information, or it's the information you will see here is based on my own experience, what I've seen through the years with the flight sim. So and let's hop on quickly here for a quick flight. So I will start right here from the outside, the plane I choose. So as I said, generally you will start right here, go to the PMDG setup, load the panel, and start with cold and dark right here. And this actually gives you a pretty clear idea of how we'll be using it. So what we will do. In the first run, what we'll try to do is use a software called Simbrief. So Simbrief is actually a freeware add-on that you can get. Basically, it's a software that allows you to prepare all your flight plans. You can register it and do everything you want. We'll do a quick flight. So the information you need to enter here, I already pre-made it. So first thing is the ICAO, which is the identification of the airline, the flight number, the departure airport, and the arrival airport. And set here the aircraft type, set the for example, here I have the high density PMDG. You can choose it. Actually, you can choose it from. You can see it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this, you don't have to worry about anything here. But what you want to check here is the departure runway and the arrival runway. Probably it will be runway 27, unless the NOTAM says another thing. The SID here, they will give you SIDs. You may not find the latest SIDs if you don't have an active subscription with Navigraph. Navigraph is the owner of Simbrief, so the software here is free, but the Navigraph, which is the data that relates to all the information about the airports, is actually payware. So it will work, but you will have maybe 1 year or 2 years old information. But anyway, can be useful also for flights. So as I said, what you will do here is maybe choose the passengers and etc. I will leave this as auto and set the freight at auto and everything else at auto. For the fuel planning, I will carry maybe the taxi fuel. I will take. I will leave it as auto, so maybe it will do 25 minutes or so. And I will take just an extra ton of fuel. I did not check the weather actually, but I'm not flying live right now, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest. So once you filled all these informations, you can click here on generate, and it will give you roughly a good flight plan and have all the information necessary for your flight. So yeah, you can see here, for example, that our initial altitude is 31,000 feet. The coast index is 45, and for the coast index, for those of you who are new to the airline fields, these actually is a parameter that indicates whether you want to be efficient with time or you want to be efficient with the fuel. So the distance here is 263. The average wind is 270 at 259. I want to say at 63. The wind components are here and everything here. So Normally, if you want to do a real flight, what you want to do is fill these information yourself, but instead we can use a feature in the PMDG just to autofill for you. So yeah. So another thing that we can be using is actually Navigraph Charts. The Navigraph Charts are payware. It costs, I think, $100 yearly, and it's pretty good for the price. I'm not gonna lie, and it comes really handy with a lot of features. So what you want to be doing, since we are using Simbrief here, we want to check our latest flight. What you want to do here is click on import flight, import from Simbrief, and choose this flight. Okay, and it will show you an approximate of your departure. For example, there is the SID. The SID is the initial departure from an airport, and the arrival we will see later. Probably I would take the ILS runway 27, I think, or runway 23, maybe runway 23. Okay, that's route. You can add this. Okay, so and the most useful thing is actually you can look at the charts, so you can see the charts of the airport directly here, or you can see, for example, for the SIDs, you can see it's already pinned, for example, the SID 51. All these informations, we will see later what it does and etc. So you don't have to know everything that I'm saying, but you just need to quickly follow what I will be doing in the sim. So I'll catch you in the sim. So welcome back to the sim, and actually what you want to be doing is, this is a state that we call cold and dark. Cold and dark means that the aircraft is not powered by anything, and we don't have essentially any instruments. So the first thing that we want to do here is to go to the tablet that we call the EFB, Electronic Flight Bag, and click here on the request GPU. These we can take right there, and you will see some sounds right here. Check that everything is correctly set here, and go to here and request the data from Simbrief. We can check the METAR. The METAR is actually the departure and arrival weather. It's a special encoding. That's another topic for another story. So once we have the ground power available, what we want to be doing is clicking here on this. And you actually want to hear some small sounds. I don't know if you heard it. So yeah, we'll go here and set the fuel pumps. The yaw damper can be set right there. I will turn on the battery. So actually the flow is pretty simple. You go right there, or like that, like that, like that, like that, and these two things. I will tell you what you want to do. So basically, you turn the battery, everything else, just keep it as it is. The circuit breakers, so we don't care about that. Emergency lights will be at armed. We want to be turning on the fasten seatbelts. And with the window heat, okay. And the hydraulic pumps. And for the moment, I will not set the APU bleed, but I will set it later. The arrival, I think I want to check this quickly on the charts. So it's quite useful to have. This is why Navigraph is so important, to be honest. And what we want to do is go here and we can see the airport elevation is 82. So we'll run that to 100 feet. Okay, set this to off. And what we want to do is set this. This is the IRS. Basically, is the informations that is important for the aircraft to know how to locate itself. And then we'll go to the FMC. The FMC actually is the flight management computer. This is where we set all our the informations about our flight. So what I did here is just take the GPS from the left IRS and set it directly here. What this allows is to set the initial data for our airport. So yeah. Once we've set that, in real life that would take about 7 minutes, but we don't care. So, and I think the aircraft is in pounds. I can quickly change that. Okay. So now we're good. And what you want to be doing is the FMC, go here and request a flight plan. And we'll be using the Simbrief route. I will set the payload, set the fuel, and select the route. What will this do is actually import our flight plan that I showed you previously in the Simbrief, and import it directly here. It will take some time. So the route, once it's loaded, so what we can do is go to the departure. And for example, we'll take off from runway 25 right. And we'll choose our set that I showed you previously, which is set 51. And we'll click on route and activate the flight plan. So what we want to do and what we will be doing is checking that our flight plan is actually the same as we predicted. So I will grab the Navigraph Charts right here and quickly check that everything is good. So I don't know how to split these two, but anyway. So to check point by point, you need to be clicking on step. For example, once we go through this point, we click on the second point, Charlie Hotel Echo. So everything seems correct to me. So we are here. I will think we set the ILS runway 23. We go through this 0 Echo Mike, but we'll check later. So the setup for our flight plan is actually complete. What we want to be doing here is actually set the performance. And for this, actually, what we will be using is use the planned fuel. So, for example, the planned fuel is 6.9. And for example, I have 6.8 here. The zero fuel weight is parameter. You can double click on here and it will give you the right value. The reserve, I think we took 1 kilo in reserve, and the cost index, you can grab it from the Simbrief as I showed you before. It's 45. The trip altitude here is 310, for example, and the average wind is 259 at 633. Okay, so I will not be using the departure. Okay, what we will do is set the takeoff to here, and the outside temperature, don't care. I will set flaps to 5, 143, 144, 149, and double check here and set the trim here to The trim is actually this thing right here, which controls the horizontal stabilizer. We need to set this so we can control the flight correctly. So yeah, and what we will do in the second hand is go here and set actually the speed should be 149, which is equivalent to V2 49. And for the altitude, we don't have any restrictions, or we are not flying online, so we will go directly to our altitude 310. So yeah, and set the flight directors. And we can also set the runway heading. I think we can check this from here, from the flight. Check which runway we will be doing. And the set, you can go here. The initial heading will be 232, but the runway heading is 25. It's 246, I guess. So yeah, I think everything is set for now. We'll just put this like here, and I will catch you in the next one.